Hello, this is Danny Doyle here again with Jacob for my Fire Emblem Path of Radiance 0% growths. I am in another one of my favorite chapters, Chapter 11, Blood Runs Red, um, where I like it because it feels like there's a lot going on. There's a couple of houses you want to capture. There's a couple of the Black Knight shows up once you get in range of the boss. There's some things that are kind of interesting to me about the chapter. Um, the most fun thing about this chapter, though, is I'm going to get to promote Kieran.
I was gonna say, funny Kieran can't use bows. Like he's an axe knight. I think you're mistaking him for Astrid.
Uh, I would never mistake Kieran for Astrid because in a vanilla playthrough, Astrid is so much better, and in this playthrough, Kieran is going to be so much better. Um,
I still think I like Kieran more just because he starts earlier at such a high base level. But Astrid, come on, she's a girl, which means she's instantly better than Kieran.
I think she turns out better than Kieran. And I don't think in a game with bonus experience, I don't think it's that hard.
Not just bonus experience, but Paragon.
Yeah. So paladins in Path of Radiance get to pick their second weapon. They're already busted enough. Why not just let them choose what weapon they think is best? I give Kieran bows. Normally, you want to give them axes because axes is the best weapon type. But Kieran already has axes, so then there's like, okay, lances are second best. He doesn't get much from that. I think you were mentioning earlier javelins are a more accurate 1-2 range than hand axes. So, like, that is a potential thing. But I feel like swords and bows offer him more. Swords offer him an enemy phase at 1 range that, a useful enemy phase at 1 range, and bows offer him a useful player phase at 2 range.
Yeah, because his accuracy is gonna not be ideal. He's definitely gonna have some accuracy issues, especially well in a vanilla run. He already has accuracy issues early on, and his hand axe accuracy is gonna be even worse. Like I think we checked earlier, he has like right at 100 hit before enemy avoid with an iron axe, so that's not even gonna be 100 with a hand axe. So giving you could do lances to give him javelins, which would be a little bit more accurate 1-2 range. But the swords will give him the most accuracy, and the bows would give him the most reliable 2 range chip. And in a run like this, where no one is one rounding, we're kind of getting into, like we mentioned when we were talking about Rolf, we're getting into FE6 and Shadow Dragon DS moments where just having the ability to chip without taking a counter accurately is so important because you don't have to take these counters from these enemies that are either doubling you or doing big damage to you.
So as I mentioned, there's a few things going on in this map. This house I don't care about. It's an Elwind. Like, my only mage is Soren. I don't care about Elwind. This house is a Killer Lance. I do care about that. I also want to recruit Zehark. Oh, I guess we should talk about Braum. These are his stats. He's fine. He's like a middling combat unit.
Yeah, he
Armor Knight bad.
He fills the knight niche that if you have just an itch to use armor knights and an addiction for them, he's there for you until Gatry comes back. But no, too low of movement, too low of speed. He's just not going to get anywhere.
Well, and insta-promoting Kieran gives him stats on par with Titania. I think he's actually, like, 1 strength higher, and even on basically everything else that matters.
So that's 14 speed, 12 defense.
Yeah, so he has 1 more point of defense as well.
So we basically have Titania 2.
Electric
The only difference
Boogaloo.
is it looks like his skill is like 1 point lower, which is like 2 points of hit. So who cares?
I mean, axes are pretty inaccurate, so it is going to, like, matter a little bit. But yeah, I agree with your assessment of, like, who cares.
We've already seen Titania have a little bit of hit issues with hand axes, especially. So having bows and being able to accurately two-range chip something so you can finish off with someone like Titania, for example, it'll be so useful.
I considered not deploying Sorin. Like this is a map where people are gonna die, but it's fine because I low man the next one. I considered not deploying Sorin because I do kind of want him to take care of the Armor Knight at the end. This is an arrive map, which just means any unit can stand on the blue square in order to win. So our any unit is going to be Marcia because she's got the mobility for it. Yeah, I don't have a super solid plan for this like beginning part, which is important, other than sending the Lagoos up north to recruit Zyhark and having probably at least one casualty.
So those three enemies starting in the bottom right were always seemed like so weird to me that they're just start right there next to you.
Four of them.
Oh, there's four of them. That's right. It reminds me there's one or two chapters in The Last Promise that happens in where the enemies start like 3 tiles from your player units.
Oh my god, I'm so glad to have 2 paladins. Oh my god. Kieran,
you forgot to use Gamble.
Oh yeah, Kieran has Gamble. So
the way
I think that Oh, go ahead.
The way Gamble works, anyone who doesn't know, it halves your hit chance and doubles your crit chance. So instead of having 80 accuracy and 4 crit, you can have 40 accuracy and 8 crit.
What do you think about the theory that Makalov and Kieran's skills got reversed by mistake?
I totally believe that's the case. Makalov, which is another Cavalier we'll get later, and I'm sure he'll be really useful, right?
I've looked at his base stats. He'll actually be somewhat useful, but like Kieran and Titania are better, obviously. He's not worth promoting.
So Makalov starts with the Tempest skill, which just doubles Biorhythm effect. The weird thing is, Makalov as a character, he's a very, when I say bad character, he's the very well-written character. He's just a really bad guy. He gambles all of his money away, he borrows from friends and then gambles that money away. But he has the Tempest skill, whereas Kieran is a really fiery, hot-headed Cavalier with a very, you could call it, Tempest nature, but he has Gamble for some reason.
Oscar getting doubled and dealing 2 damage to this fucking bow knight.
Oh, good level. Get speed.
Oh. It reminds me, did you notice that when we were looking at the chapter's preps off camera, the MVP was no one? There was no MVP last turn or last chapter because nobody's good.
No heroes. I think it's because you did not do any damage to any enemies because you disarmed Titania. Good use of the Regal Sword.
Oh yeah, that's the other side objective that I never do. So there's 4 extremely weak units called Vigilantes. If you spare them, you get some bonus experience, but they will frequently just suicide on your units. I think that was one of them that dealt 0 damage to an untransformed Mordecai.
Yeah, it's like a fighter and a Myrmidon in the bottom left, and then like 2 Myrmidons. Like, here's this guy.
Yeah,
and you do get bonus experience for keeping them. Oh yeah, I forgot he recruits himself. I thought he was about to start killing Edge.
That was another the vigilante. Oh right, they can attack through fences. Oh god damn.
Oof.
Oh, I want Sorin alive though.
I'm glad to see you making some Sorin in this chapter.
I want him to attack the armor knight. Like, I want magic against that armor knight, because otherwise I don't know what the
You,
fuck I'm doing, except for getting doubled with the hammer.
you skipped over the line where he says, what describes this whole chapter so far.
I must retreat.
That was poorly done.
We'll be right back. Alright, this time, instead of putting Soren in attack range, I put him like safely in between Oscar and Boyd. And I sent Titania to the right to help clean up some of those mooks, because I think Kieran can handle things fine on his own. But I guess we'll find out.
What did that little icon above that left cavalier mean? He had like a little like diamond shaped icon above him, and it showed red squares like where he could move. It's almost like you could use that to tell where a safe space for Soren to stand was.
Okay, but I forgot that he even existed. I forgot that he even existed, okay? Because, like, that area of the map, I'm just... So, I just to spoil my strategy, like, I'm going up the right because you face fewer enemies, and because I don't care about the Elwind house. Like, maybe I'll get it if, like... I don't know. I feel like the thief destroys it on like turn 2, and even in a like Growth's playthrough, Kieran and Titania just struggle to get it.
Yeah, I think that's not really. I don't think you're gonna miss it either. Like, I don't think you're gonna be like, dang, I wish I had an Elwyn right now.
Yeah, because I think Tormod has E rank in Wind, and he's gonna be the mage who I use the most. And then by the time I get Khalil, I'll be able to buy Elwind if I want to. Oh yeah, Leth threatened Zehar, so Zehar decided, I'm a furry now.
Killing its crit is friend.
Yeah, he got rid of bonus experience. Bad unit, needs to be benched.
I find it so funny because what did these guys give you, like 20-something bonus experience for keeping them alive, but you can get like just about as much by killing them?
I think they give you more than they get you. I think they give you more bonus experience than they'll give you for a nice miss again. I mean, weapon triangle and low skill and low hit weapon, but still. I feel like you were about to say something.
Yeah, getting that house really is tricky even in a regular playthrough, so I just don't think it's really worth it. Plus, Draco Shield, totally worth. I'm really
Killing Lance?
That's going on.
So yeah, funny you should mention, like, stat boosters. One of the things that, like, so... I've been trying to figure out who I'm giving specific stat boosters to, and, like, the level 1, like, once you're brand new... When you're brand new, like, there's often, like, I'm just gonna go ahead and hoard it. Oh, I can steal? No, I can't.
No. 3 damage once. We're not
I'm gonna
holding
box this guy in.
We're not holding on to the stat boosters because we're afraid we'll need them later. We're holding on to some of the stat boosters because we know we'll need them later.
Yeah, so in a Growth's playthrough, you generally want to use them as soon as you get them, with some exceptions, like in Radiant Dawn, for example, saving stat boosters for Jill, just because she makes much better use of them than anyone else, is legitimately advisable. Okay, so he survives. That's what. That's. No, I want him to. I want him to survive. I also want to box this guy in.
Yeah, but in this context, you think of some other games that you play on the 0% growths. FE7 is one that a lot of people like, but in FE7, you get these really strong pre-promoted units like Harkin, Hawkeye, Pen, Fiden. You get these super, super strong pre-promoted units late in the game. You don't get that here. You don't get a really good hero or a really good Wyvern Lord that can just carry the rest of the late game. So when you think about stuff like final bosses, you have to think about, how am I going to kill these late game bosses with these...
in particular, the final boss of this game, Ashnard, can only be damaged by Ike and Enna, and Laguz Royals, who you only get after you've already completed one phase of his battle anyway.
Oh, just use Nasir for him then, right?
I'm not getting Nasir.
Oh, you're not gonna send Leth up to go get the house?
Oh yeah, that's one of the other cute touches that Path of Radiance does, is everyone in this village is racist, so if you send a furry in there, they're like, sorry, but we're racist against furries, and they don't,
I love that because you send Leth up to the top right to go recruit Z-Hark, so it's like, oh, might as well visit the house, and they're like, ah, get out, subhuman. Oh no, better look out, there's a Wyvern Lord down in the bottom right.
So these guys do eventually like come onto the map, but they won't attack. Well, Jill, who's the recruitable one, won't attack you unless you attack her. And then the other ones will attack you if you get in their range, but they're generally not too much of a problem. Like you'll be out of here by then, even in 0%, even in Maniac. And if they're not, you just feed them to Bo Kieran. I kind of want to send Titania over here because these guys will show up.
Something I find really funny about this is Braum is actually performing much better than Nephany would have performed because at least he takes less damage.
I don't want to bait him to giving me more gauge.
Give me that gauge.
So if he attacks Mordecai, that's like an extra turn. Also, I love this. Oscar, so useful. Oh, right, no, he has Kanto, so he will go back, won't he?
Oh, will he? Will he just run back forward?
I guess we'll find out.
Is the enemy too smart? Oh!
That's okay. I've got Marcia.
See, I guess you could like fly Marcia over there. Having two paladins, it's gonna be so nice having another person who can actually do meaningful damage.
Well, not only that, but can do meaningful damage and has Kanto.
This one little thief like commits arson on the entire house. Oh, Wing Spear, that's effective against cavalry, right?
Lol. 1 damage.
1 damage with 5 crit. I mean, we've seen low percentage crits happen.
We're just gonna kill him with paper cuts. So this guy is actually standing right outside the Black Knight's house. This is a very dangerous position for us to be in right now. But thankfully, the Black Knight is not a turn-based reinforcement. So the Black Knight's invincible, and he moves 2 squares per turn, unless someone's in his range, in which case he will move and kill them. And he one-rounds basically everyone in your army. He shows up as soon as you engage in combat with Makoya, who's the boss of this chapter. So I can actually take my time when it comes to the Black Knight.
The Black Knight will wait patiently for his challenge, but only for as many turns as it takes you to fight the boss. Man, the boss has like he has like a weapon that's really good against like Lagoose. It'd be really cool to have like one of those for a second sword user to have, but it's too bad you can't really get one in like any playthrough, right?
I hate you so much.
Aw, thank you. No, I actually didn't know about the whole like getting a second Lagoon Slayer strat until I did like a draft of FE9, and you were subconsciously talking me out of picking Volk because I was trying to decide between Volk and someone else, and you were like subconsciously and you were the next pick. You were like, I mean, come on, do you really need Volk? Do you really need him? So
yeah, because Soth was free in that context, in that draft.
And you were like, come on, like, you don't need that stuff in that chapter, right? And I was like, well, I guess you're right. You said, sweet, Lagoon Slayer is mine. Which I didn't mind. I don't even think I ended up finishing that draft. It just got so boring. Because I just,
I stepped on my memory card by accident.
Yeah, I didn't end up finishing it because I got to, like, Oliver's Mansion, and all of my units were one-rounding every single enemy on the map, and it was just a matter of, like, moving my units to the seize point as fast as possible. It wasn't fun. It was just, hey look, Z-Hark kills this guy. Hey look, Um, Risk kills this guy. I don't know.
So
This is
even
fine.
with a vulnerary, he's gonna get killed by these guys
Because
combined.
yeah, because they'll so yeah.
Oh my god.
Does
It's
stupid
50
question?
hit.
Does
That's a
yeah.
dumb question. That's a dumbass question. Don't don't ask stupid questions like that. Um
Okay, I'll ask a different question. Why are you playing FE9 0% growth?
Shut up.
Is Volk really someone you're willing to leave in range dodge? I think you're just gonna. At least if you pick like someone else, you might be able to sack them.
No, but the worry is if they die, then this guy kills
Ooh.
Marcia. Oh, I didn't think about this. I didn't think about this at all.
Maybe. Idea. What if you send Mordecai further up north to pull the Cavaliers?
Oh, oh yeah, because they want to not be countered.
So, but I guess they'll see that they can kill Oscar, or maybe if you
I don't
vulnerate
think they'll
him.
see that they can combine to kill him. I don't
No,
think
yeah,
the
I
AI
don't.
is
I don't
that
think enemies.
sophisticated.
Yeah, I don't think enemies know that they combine for kills, but I don't know if they'll see that they'll do like a bunch of damage to Oscar and they'll go for him. But I think they like not being countered more.
Yeah, and they
It's
both have
different
steel
between
lances as well.
games.
They can both hit Mordecai, and then he'll like transform. He'll
Yeah,
actually
he won't.
So it kind of sucks because he'll transform on enemy phase if he gets hit by both of them. Um,
Uh, I mean, you're saving a unit. You're saving a bit of unit. You're trying to save a unit with it, so I think it's.
I also don't know if like Oscar is someone I'd reset over. The problem is Marcia is someone I would reset over.
Yeah, that
Because
archer should
I need
go
Marcia
down.
alive and promoted by chapter 17:4. Um,
I had a feeling you were gonna want to promote Marcia for Serenus Forest.
yes.
At least for 17-2 as well. That was also
17:2 I
really.
can do with Jill, but 17:4 I need Marcia for.
That's right. You don't have to do it.
Oh
Oh no,
no,
no.
no! Oscar, my beloved.
Dodge, 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 dodge tank. Oh, now it's gonna take forever for that Cavalier to go, so we just have to wait. I hate it when Fire Emblem does this. Like, just show me my unit's gonna die already. Quit making me wait.
Oh my god.
Oh no, the Vigilance is gonna suicide on Titania.
Well, and Path of Radiance animations are so gosh darn slow that it's like, oh my god.
Oh my!
Mm,
I just realized something. This is gonna be such a weird thing to bring up suddenly. But Titania. Oh, let's see if it works. Oh, rip Oscar.
Rip
The enemy
Oscar. But
was
now we find out
better.
if that Bocav is gonna move, or if he's like already moved. If he decided he already moved. So I think in
Might
some
have.
games, okay,
Oh no.
fucking rip Marcia.
Oh, double effective damage.
Oh my god. Okay. Well, so now you're trapped in here with me. Now it's revenge time.
So what I was saying, if you look at Titania's name real quick, I noticed something really funny about Titania's name. Um, so she's like best unit ever, right?
Yeah,
And
is
she's
it
like super strong and
Titan?
everything. Yeah, if you take the last two letters off of her name, she's Titan because she's like ridiculously strong, and I'm sure they planned that.
Now you're trapped in here with Oscar and Kier, or with Mordecai and Kieran. Rip Oscar. Ah.
So
He had a couple of lances on him, but I don't think he had anything I super care about.
our old Cavalier has expired, so we bought a new one. Yeah, I foresee, like, I've seen where you can keep everyone alive in some 0% growths, but this is not going to be very professional, so we're just going to be getting by as best we can. Is Leth gonna be okay?
Yeah, Leth will be fine.
Come on, counter, counter. I want to see counter. Aww. Did you ever take Tempest off of Boyd? Just weird question, asked, but did you ever take Tempest off of Boyd?
I think I just like don't care. Like I think
Okay.
he's probably better with it off of him. But I think I
Because
mostly just don't care.
It doesn't like make his hit rates awful whenever he's up against. It's like whenever Arthur in Conquest gets Gamble, and it's like, sweet, he already struggles to hit things. Let's give him -10 hit. Taking the long way around.
Yeah. Well, and so then the other worry is that once I do engage with the boss, the Black Knight comes out of this house. It is like a little bit frustrating that I want to go this way, which means that I'll actually be pretty close to him. But that's a problem for me to tackle when he shows up.
I know this is not a very fun or great game to compare things to, but in Heroes, this map was introduced whenever they first brought Path of Radiance characters to Fire Emblem Heroes, whenever they brought Ike, Titania, Soren, and I don't remember who the last person was, but I know they brought those three. And this map was in Heroes, and it was just big enough to fit on your phone screen. And on a certain turn number, the Black Knight would show up in the very center of the map where that house is.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was.
I mean, I don't like Heroes, but I think that's pretty cool.
I don't like Heroes either, but sometimes it has some pretty interesting fan service stuff in it. Like, for example, that map, because I think it's a defend map. You have to like survive for so many turns. And
so now the wyverns are here.
This just got a little gross.
So these two will move if you end your turn in their range, but like I don't plan on doing that.
Oh, you're not a Lagoose. Here, have a Killer Lance. No damage. Oh, setting up a kill for Jill. You have to use Javelin. See, this is that thing we were talking about, like with the boats, where if you're standing on a different plane of height or something, you have to use a 2-range weapon, even though you're only 1 tile away.
Yeah, I think it's kind of cool. I just like.
It just tends to throw me off a little bit because I'll be planning, like, oh, I'm going to use this weapon, and then it turns out you just can't.
Give me a second. My cat is like, she sees that Leth is on screen and she's like, cat, cat, cat.
Oh, cat girl. I mean, I get the same way whenever I see Leth on screen. Can we show off Titania doing 4 damage to something again?
There'll be plenty of opportunity for that.
I mean, let's be fair, it is an armored knight, so...
Yeah, I kind of wish I had the hammer on her now.
Because
but I don't. My cat is like threatening to unplug my headphones. She's being very obnoxious.
Jealous that you're showing another cat attention.
So yeah, now the map is pretty empty. Like the big thing is stepping in the boss's range will trigger the Black Knight. Because I think it's specifically if you get into combat with the boss, but it's kind of hard to not get in combat with the boss if you step into his range.
Yeah. Do the priests have anything worth stealing in this chapter, or are they just heal stabs?
So in Maniac mode, this one has Physic, but I believe, yeah, it's just heal. I'm gonna take it if I can. Like, there's no reason not to. I deployed Volk because, like, combat, like, he's actually decent at combat compared to the rest of my army right now. Like, again, like, knives are terrible, but look at his strength compared to, like, Mia, Soren's magic, even Marcia.
Yeah, I out of all the times I've played Path of Radiance, I don't think I've bought heal stabs a single time.
I mean, they're basically free, and also, um, I mentioned this in one of the earlier chapters, but like, in a growths playthrough, your units end up not needing healing as much, and when they do, you'd rather have physic anyway.
Yeah. Unless you're me and you use Mist, you don't need Physic because you can just horse.
How much movement does Mist have with a horse? Is it the full 9 or is it just 8?
Let me double check.
And see, these wyverns will not actually attack unless you end your turn in their range. So they're kind of just like the people who went a specific way kind of have to stay there now. Um, it's 18, yeah, so I can get that kill with Titania.
So Mist has 5 move at base. She gets 3 on promotion. So she has.
So she
8
just gets
move after
8.
promotion.
So she has unpromoted mounted youth, but like usually mounted healers have less move anyway, so that makes sense.
Yeah, it was that way in Sacred Stones. I know in FE7, the mounted healers have the same movement as your Cavaliers and Paladin, but I know in FE8, they lowered it to where Probadors have 6 move, and then Mage Knights and Valkyries have 7, which I'm totally okay with. Like, it's nice to have higher move, but I think it's good from like a balancing point. Click back over to the recording so I can actually watch you record now. Watch you play a game. Yes, Mordecai, good unit.
I think it makes sense for them to have less move.
Oh yeah, I have no problem with reserving the highest movement for paladins and most flyers. Actually, in some cases, I think flyers could do with less move. Like I think it's that way in 3 houses. I think flyers have less move than mounted units.
I mean, if they do, it's not super noticeable because of how bad terrain impacts
Oh yeah,
units in that game.
Terrain just ruins mounted units in that game. There's so many wasteland tiles that you can barely tell apart from normal tiles. And it's like, oh, conveniently enough, suddenly it costs 3 move for your Cavalier to move through this tile. Sucks to be you.
Okay, so we will send Riss up here. Get this
Could you
kill
imagine
with
if the Blood
Soren.
Knight was turn-based? I don't think he doubles.
No, he doesn't, but I can I think I can finish him off with Kieran. Yeah, there we go.
He doesn't.
I just didn't
double
want
an
Kieran
armored
to have to
knight.
eat a counterattack.
No, I more or less find it funnier that Soren is not doubling an armored knight.
Yeah, so I mean, is that unusual? I guess it kind of is. Soren's just like, I guess Soren's supposed to be the fast mage, right? 8 speed.
He's supposed to be the wind mage, I guess, and wind is the lightest.
Yeah, he's
I
got
think
5 AS right now with fire.
I think the reason why it's so shocking is by this point, a lot of people would have bonus experienced him up a whole bunch.
No, that's a good point.
So are you gonna try to distract the boss, or are you going to try to kill the boss?
So I actually want to kill the boss because he drops the second Master Seal. There are only 3 Master Seals in this game because in Path of Radiance, units automatically promote if they get up to basically level 21, like they get 100 experience while at level 20. That said, like I have a lot of units who I want to promote. Like eventually I'll be using mostly pre-promotes, but there are a good number of unpromoted units who I want to promote for sections of the mid game in particular. I want Marcia to promote. I want Jill to promote. I already spent one on Kieran. I only have so much bonus experience, I'm considering promoting Gotri as well, just because he's already there.
Oh
Um,
no, we're really desperate for units then.
I mean, you saw his stats. You saw how Braum contributed this chapter.
I'm actually curious how a promoted Gatri looks against your two paladins.
I compared them and I just already forget. Let me make sure Makoya, because Makoya also has a bow. Um, I'm most scared about the Black Knight showing up, but like, I could always, if the Black Knight shows up, baby, calm down, my cat. This is the problem with having 5 cats, none of whom get along. Um, uh, so I think I'm going to try to kill Makoya with Kieran and Titania combined. I have the poleaxe for that reason. And yeah, I don't want to send Mordecai into the fray because of Lagoon Slayer.
Yeah, that's gonna be rough.
I'm also worried about this group because like the Black Knight will chase them down, like 2 squares at a time, and eventually, like this happened to me in Maniac mode. Eventually, I had to get in range of the Wyverns to avoid the Black Knight. So Mordecai's gonna be over there as like, in addition to Z-Herc, I can use Mordecai to actually like kill the Wyverns. Speaking of this group, I'm going to start sending this group over here. I might actually decide to just kill the Wyverns that move before I bait the Black Knight. I think that's probably the smart play. I'm not known for making the smart play.
I'm gonna be really curious to see who that second Master Seal goes to. I'm gonna see who you want more, promoted Jill or promoted Marsha first, and I think
It goes to Jill. Like, I'll spoil it for you. It goes to Jill.
Yeah,
Jill joins at level 8. She's gonna get 2 points. She's gonna get 2 levels, either of bonus experience or in her joining chapter. Her joining chapter is actually a good place for her to train. That's also where some of the stat boosters are going.
Oh yeah, there's also all those stat boosters in that chapter that I didn't know about until like a month ago.
Yeah, at one point, I was trying to remember what they were, and for some reason, I remembered them being like energy drops and speed wings, and I was like, "This is gonna be so good." And then I checked, and I think it's like 2 Seraphobes and 2 secret books. Which, granted, both of those are actually really good stat boosters for Jill, because much like Kieran, her hit is going to struggle. And then, like, I mean, Seraphobe is always good.
Yeah.
But it's a good chapter for her because she joins with the Laguz Guard, which means that... So all of the enemies in that chapter are Laguz. Yeah, I'll have to wait another transformation cycle for that.
Rip Mordecai.
Get over here. Marsha, I got nice, juicy sandwich for you.
Oh boy, I love grinding on Priest. Oh, so close to a level up.
So the reason I want to promote Jill first is she will actually be seeing combat in the mid game. Marsha, like, specifically is there for movement in the desert, which it'd be nice to have her promoted by then, but not essential. Just spent vulnerable uses.
Think...
Like, I could go all the way over to Riss,
Nah.
heal up, but like that's gonna take forever. Vulneraries are cheap, money is free.
Philosophical. Vulneraries are cheap, money is free. I'll be really...
Oh, continue?
No, I was gonna say something, but I'm thinking, I'm wondering how much they're gonna actually do to the boss with that poleaxe, and what's their hit rate gonna be like?
So I'm gonna bait him into equipping a bow, so that he won't have weapon triangle over them. But his defense is 14, 12 strength, and I think 13 strength. Yeah, 12 strength, 13 strength. Poleaxe is 10 might. You said, I said what? His defense is 13?
So 32 minus 14. That's 18 damage.
And they will not double him because the poleaxe, much like the hammer, is very heavy.
I actually think they exactly combine to kill. It's
Well,
like
and I'll
one or
have Leth
two.
as well. I've got Leth as
Okay,
well as the backup plan.
away.
I love
Like,
the priest running away.
Where's he going?
He wants to
Wait.
bait me into Makoya's range because he knows I'm killing with Marcia.
Could you? I don't think she can get out unless maybe you javelin.
Well,
I'm
I
actually-
can javelin. I can javelin.
Oh, do one of those enemies have a vulnerary?
Probably.
Maybe he's running to go get a vulnerary to trade off.
I know that the only escape point. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Oh my god, he might have been trying to escape because the escape point is here, and he might have seen that like I'm blocking this, so he wanted to go all the way up and around.
Oh, I didn't know the enemy had escape points in this game. I know they do in Thracia, but you can more easily disarm enemies in Thracia.
So the escape point is for the thieves when all the houses are gone.
Oh.
Okay. So, we are 40 minutes in. I am about to trigger, like, the exciting part of the chapter, but I have to wait for, like, various Laguz transformation. I think this is a good pausing point. And then we'll see if the Black Knight wrecks my day.
And I'll see if it makes my day.
Alright, see y'all later.
Bye-bye.